Hello and welcome everyone. It's great to be back for another live stream. October already. Man, this year is flying by. I can see a lot of new people have joined. Well, a lot of people I recognize from my comments in my videos, and it's great to see you manage to get to a live. I know the time zone thing can be a bit of a challenge, but really awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Let's see who we've got. I did notice Plot 34A. It's great to see you on there. I got to meet him at a couple of the chili events that I've been to lately, so that was good. Got to try one of his sauces, and he's been trying a couple of mine as well. Kelly, great to see you on. Happy Sunday to you as well. Oh yes, I'm gonna start my Guinness early, I think, this time, because last time I was halfway through the stream before I even got to have my beer. Yeah, before people assume I'm an alcoholic, I did get that question, I think, on one of my Instagram lives that I did. I don't drink that often. I like to relax with a beer, of course, but you know, after the day we've had today, we've been doing a lot of work in the garden, getting all the hedges trimmed today and yesterday actually, and it's been a busy couple of days. Must have been about a ton of stuff that we've actually cut off our trees and our hedges and all that sort of thing, and yeah, it's nice to chill out now, sit down and relax with you guys, and also have a beer. So cheers everyone. Hopefully this one doesn't spill everywhere like the last time.
The last one, so better not.
Better not. Yeah, last Guinness. Mrs. ChilliChump. Need to get some new stock.
I know, need to get some new stuff.
Two hot peppers, good to see you. New York, that'll be 12 p.m. for you guys there. Something about gardening, great to see you on as well. Butsemen. I think I always get that name wrong. Butsemen. Lewis Brazo, good to see you on. Hot Gem, Chili Gem, good to see you. Mr. Robert Connor, the Mighty Moustache as well, that's great. He's been putting out some fun content on Instagram, as always. Daniel Katzman, great to see you. Senatus Green Thumb, I hope I'm saying that right. I see your name pop up quite a bit on my comments, and I always wonder, is it Senatus, Canatus, Senatus? Don Pandemoniac, good to see you as well. Mr. Paul T. Mack. And we had a donation before I even got started here. Thank you so much, Adrian, for that. I really do appreciate it. And now Mr. Shane Murdoch. Thank you so much. You guys are very, very generous. You're awesome as well. So I wanted to show a little something before I forget, because I know I'll forget. There's so much going on in this this episode, in this live stream today. I've been looking around for a long time. I did mention this on a few of my live streams. I've been looking around for a good source for merchandise, which has always been a bit difficult. Things like t-shirts and hoodies and stuff like that. And I know quite a few of my patrons and quite a few of you guys out there have been wanting something like that to come through. I have used Teespring in the past. I still have an account with them. I'm not overly happy with them. I know they've made some changes recently, and I'll go back and have a look, but I haven't been happy with them for a while. I think their things are a bit overpriced, and I mean, if the quality was really good, then I'd be happy with it. I wouldn't mind, and you know, you pay for quality, but it's the shipping costs that seem to be ridiculous, no matter whether you're in America or whether you're in Europe. So I have been talking with a company called, just forgotten, T-Mill, right? Yes, a company called T-Mill, and what attracted me to them is they are an environmentally friendly merchandising store, which kind of obviously fits in with what I do. But at the same time, you know, it could be environmentally friendly, that's great, but if the quality wasn't good, then yeah, I'm not going to be going with them. But they've sent me a couple samples, and I've been pretty happy with them. The pricing is still up there, but the quality is fantastic. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts. This is one of the tops that are in there. I don't know if you can see on the back. Nice little chili man on the back as well. This is available now in the store. I think Mr. ChilliChump is going to post a link up there. So go have a look. I actually have a hoodie over here as well. I've got a bunch of clothing. I'm not wearing the hoodie because I'm a bit warm. But the hoodie, at the moment, the design is pretty much the same. We've got on the front, we've got the ChilliChump logo. And on the back, we have our Chumpy. Oop, there. Good old Chumpy. So if you want to go have a look, there you go. Obviously coming up to Christmas. I don't expect people to be going out and buying stuff from the store. I know that times are a bit strange right now, especially if you're in the UK. Man, some of the things that have been happening in the last month have been a bit of a nightmare. The US dollar is almost on parity with the British pound, which I haven't seen that well. I think it's at the lowest point that has been since 1983, which, yeah. So we have a new prime minister that's doing her very best to just screw the economy. So that's great fun. Anyway, enough of the politics, because I don't like talking politics. Yeah, Kelly, I know you've been looking for a hoodie for a while. The quality is really good. This is obviously the men's version. Mrs. ChilliChump has the other one as well. Don't know where we have put that right now, but it's also good quality. A nice fit as well. But have a chat with me on Discord a little bit later, and we'll see if we can make a plan. Okay, yeah, so let me have a look here. You can ask questions if you want to. There's a bit of a function that I have built into my live stream if this is the first time you've been here. And if you ask a question, then you put the exclamation mark Q and then your question, and it'll put in the list that I have. So I'm just going to make sure I have that open in front of me. And if you have any questions, it pops up into that list, and I'll try and answer as many as I can. Before we get any further, let's fill up the boxes because we have a special guest to get on, and I'm going to call him in just a second. But let's put some interesting things inside the boxes. If you saw my teaser, video before the live stream, and I put it out yesterday actually, you would know that I have 3 chilies that I went and picked from my greenhouse. The one is the lovely Kangstar Lemon Starburst, which is just a beauty of a chili. This is about 300,000 Scoville. Then I have my Primatari. Now these here, they have quite a wide range of heat. These ones I think are going to be extremely hot. All my chilies this year have been extremely hot because of that heat spell that we've had, where we had a bit of a heat wave. I think that has really affected things because even my jalapenos, don't think I've had jalapenos as hot for quite a while. So we'll see what that is. But that also is about 300 to 400,000. We'll see what we think. And then lastly, a Primotali. Now, the Primatali, this hasn't been officially tested, but a lot of people have reviewed this, a lot of people have tried it, and they're all claiming that it's well over 2 million on the Scoville scale, that it is a scary chili. It's a cross, I believe, between a 7-pot Primo and one of these guys, the Fatali. I can kind of see it, but it's a very gnarly looking thing. 7-pot Primos can be a little gnarly, but these here are so ribbed. And I don't know, rule of thumb says the more ribbed and gnarly looking the chili, the hotter it tends to be. So we've got these 3. We're going to put them in the boxes. Mr. ChilliChump is not going to tell me which one, and he's not going to tell you, I hope, which ones they're going in. And you guys can vote. And whichever one you vote on, that's the one I'm going to be eating a little bit later with our guest, because I've made sure my guest has a chili as well. Not a Primatali, though. So there you go.
Adrian says how much to take away the other 2 boxes.
Let's see. If we don't get the Primatali, I'll have to put some stupid high donation amount there if you really want me to eat it. Honestly, this thing, just thinking about eating this gives me a little bit of the shakes, to be honest.
I did shuffle the boxes as well. I don't know which is which.
Okay, so they're the boxes. They're going to be sitting behind Mrs. ChilliChump. No, there's no shenanigans going on. God, I love that word, shenanigans. What is that? What is that movie? You guys in the comments will know. With the Canadian Mounties, I think it is. It's one of my favorite movies. So stupid. Dusty side panel. I had to bring in my 7-pot Primo to protect it from Hurricane Ian. And when I checked on it the next day, a black widow spider had already made a home in it. Yeah, black widow spiders. You don't want to be messing around with that. I think the 7-pot Primo has a new owner now. So, I think just forget about that plant. Talking about Hurricane Ian, I hope that anyone that was affected by it, well, I hope everybody is safe, at least. I've heard some horror stories. Some of my patrons have mentioned some bad things going on. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope there's not too much damage if you were in the path of it. We actually had, which is weird to think, I mean, we're on the other side of the world, and we had the tail end of that hurricane 2 days ago. I mean, just a ton of wind, a lot of rain. It was a bit weird. But that's the tail end of your hurricane. I'd hate to think what it must have been like to actually be in that situation. So, yeah, I hope you guys are all safe. And I hope your plants are safe as well. I know that's the last thing that you should be concerned about, but I know that it would be a concern for you guys. So.
Super Troopers.
Super Troopers. That's the one. Oh, I love that movie. Super Troopers 2 as well. I watched that. I mean, it's not as good as Super Troopers, the first one, but it's still funny. It's silly. Oh, so just waiting for my guest. Apparently, I forgot that he's going to be eating a chili with me, so he went to go and pick it quickly. That's fine. What I can do in the meantime, though, is I can. Let me see. I'm going to start the vote off for you guys. Let me see if I can do this. I need to start the vote off so you can start choosing which box I'm going to be eating from. I don't know why I do this stuff to myself. So let me just open this up and kick it off. I wish I could do this from my streaming platform, but I actually have to go into YouTube and do this for some reason. So how's everyone's season going? I know it's coming towards the end of it. I think we've got maybe about a month. I mean, we're in October now. I'd say we've got about a month. Well, I definitely hope I have a month, because the competition winners that are coming to help me pick from Quis, my monster chili plant, they're coming on the 5th of November. And hopefully things are all in place for us to do that, pick those chilies. The plant's doing fantastically. There's a little bit of yellowing on the leaves, but you expect that with the weather dipping like it is at the moment. There's a bit of a balancing act to perform. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the picking. Got loads of fruit coming through on that. Really, really quite chuffed with it. So let me pull this up. Where are we? Okie dokie. There we go. I'm watching myself on screen. Good times. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm creating a poll. You'll see it in the chat. And again, I wish I could template this. So box number 1. Which box? I should add a 4th option. Nah, let's not complicate things. Box 1. Box 3. There we go. So you guys can do your voting. We'll see which box I end up going with. That pops up in the chat. So I can... No, anyway.
Yeah.
We'll see how this goes.
And then as soon as they voted, they get to see where the...
Just 26 votes already.
What did you go for?
I haven't voted. I always wonder this. If I actually told you which box it was in, how nice you guys would be to me. Or would it just be every one of you voting for the hottest thing? By the way, I did say on the last live stream, pass me the one chip. I did say on the last live stream that I'd be including this, but I haven't got rid of it. It's still here, and we will do that probably on the next live stream. I'm going to try and get hold of the latest version of this, because this is the older version. Should still be healthy, I guess. It's still going to be hot. But I'll try and get the latest version, I think, for this year, and we'll see if I can have that. Maybe put both in separate boxes. Liz, open house. Open house. I hope I'm saying that right. Sugar Rush Stripies, Yellow Scotch Pines, still producing even the nights in the 40s. Yeah, I was out in the greenhouse, yesterday when I was taking the video for the teaser, and I noticed that my Chinese 5-color is still putting flowers out and still producing fruit, which is crazy. You shouldn't really be seeing that from that type of plant. Your super hots, because it's a long season plant, you expect that they're going to be still putting out fruit, like I'm getting from my Dorset Naga, the monster Dorset Nagas, as well as all my other ones like the Primatalis and that. I'm still getting lots of new fruit coming through. But yeah, it's weird to see it from a anum or a frutescens. But yeah, they're still going. Let's see, 99 votes. So I'm hoping our guest is ready. Now, a little bit about our guest. I mean, he's going to be doing some introductions of his own. I'll be asking him some details about himself. But the reason that I brought him on, he's one of my patrons. And we got to chatting, and we found out, I found out that his family have a massive chili farm. And when I say massive, it's huge, and it's a bit of a dream. And I thought that you guys would be interested in hearing a little bit about it. I'm sure he's got some info about it as well. That would be good. And if you've got any questions for him, I'm sure that he'll do his best to answer. So I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to try and call him through. Hope we don't have the same problem we had the last time when we tried with Skype. But let's give this a go. Let's bring it up. And I'm going to have to get my earphones for this. Let's bring you on. Just about to call myself. Okay, Doran, just give me 1 sec. Hopefully we can see you on the screen at some point. There we go.
There we go.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's resized and everything.
Hey,
great to see you, man. So how do I pronounce your name firstly? Doran or Doran?
It's Doran.
Doran. Okay.
Yep. Doran Bouchard, and we're located here in Clinton, North Carolina, so southeastern United States.
Excellent. Awesome.
So yeah, I can give you a little bit about myself. I can kind of introduce and tell you a bit of.
I'd love to know a little bit of history. Tell us about yourself, because obviously you're into growing chilies. The chilies that you grow, that your family grows, it's your family, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's all of it. So I guess we'll go into talking about the farm first.
Yeah.
The farm is a 5th generation farm. We've been growing pepper for close to almost 100 years now. And we are approximately 3,000 acres with 1,000 acres on rotation. So what that means is you end up rotating the crop around to different fields every year, or every 2 to 3 years. So what we end up doing is some fields will stay bare, some fields will have row crops on them, and then some fields will have plastic mulch beds.
So what do you use when you have fallow fields? What do you use to replenish the nutrients?
Usually we do not.
You just leave it to grow.
Case, yeah, we are very sandy loam, so there's very little nutrient to begin with in the soil. It's very sandy, very light, and there's not many rocks or anything. But like I said, it's very light. So what we will do is we will put fertilizers, 20-20-20s in. And just a good balanced fertilizer, and mix that in when we're row cropping on it. On off years, we let it just grow over with a cover crop, maybe pearl millet, something like that. Just something easy to cover it and hold the soil. And
so you don't do anything like growing legumes or beans, things like that, to replenish the nitrogen?
I say row crop, so I might have been.
Sorry. Don't assume I know what you mean.
Yeah. So row crops are corn, soybeans, wheat. Those kinds of crops. Okay. Anything that doesn't have it doesn't grow on a plastic bed. Cotton can be a row crop as well. We tend to stick with soybeans and corn just because they're a little bit easier, they're a little bit less maintenance, and when we're in season with the peppers and the chilies and the cucumbers, we don't really have time to maintenance all those crops. So our focus is going to be on the bell peppers.
Okay, and
So
just to
we
be
can,
clear to folks, when I say chilies, because I had the video that I put out recently talking about the difference. People still consider it's like sweet peppers,
right.
and yeah,
Well, and it's funny because in the United States, most people, you make a point to say chilies on almost any kind of pepper, right? But in the United States, most people would refer to even hot chilies as peppers.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. It's still a common phrasing.
yeah,
It's the reason I was a bit tongue in cheek when I did it in that video, just to make it clear the naming of chilies. Everybody's different. Every country's different. They're all gonna call it different things. They're gonna spell it differently. I get told at least 10 times a day in my comments that I spell chili wrong, right? And it was just a bit of tongue in cheek. That's why I put it out there. You can call it what you want. It really doesn't bother me. As long as we're still growing them, eating them, and enjoying them, that's all that really matters. I think before we carry on, just to give people an idea of your setup, because I mean it's easy to talk about many acres and things like that, but you sent me a few video clips and I put it together in a
yeah.
bit of a montage. So I'm going to play that through now. It's about a minute long, and give people an idea of the scale of this, which is impressive, and it makes me want to sell up here and move out there and start a big farm. But let me pull the
Yeah,
video up. I mean, hopefully that gives you guys an idea of just how massive that is. I mean, all my mind was doing was imagining that you were, can you imagine growing that many 7-pot primos? I think the challenge would be a lot bigger. To be honest, actually growing bell peppers, it's not a simple thing, to be honest.
no, they're incredibly finicky,
Yeah,
and the thicker walled peppers tend to be a little bit more difficult to deal with, especially for pest pressure.
that's
Which
my
is
that's my big challenge. I lost so many this year to blossom end rot. I find that my hotter peppers, thin skin peppers, peri-peris. Oh, peri-peris, I've never ever had blossom end rot. But my sweet peppers, Romanos, Ramiros, the bell peppers, all those blossom end
well,
rot, insects, that's awful.
they're just so much more labor and or nutrient intensive on the plant, and it takes so much out of the plant to grow those peppers, especially when you have a heavy set. Um, it can be pretty difficult for them.
How do you
So,
support them, by the way? I'm talking about heavy.
so as far as supporting that set, we will go and every foot and a half, we will put stakes in the ground
Okay.
and then tie them with string all the way around. Um, and that kind of boxes them into a little section, and that string supports them. Um, but for the most part, our peppers don't grow more than 2.5 to 3 foot tall. They're shorter season plants here.
How,
We
how,
don't
how
have a lot.
long? How long from seed? Because you could see in that
We're
video clip.
looking 90 days to harvest. So it's and then once we harvest, maybe we pick 3 times, and then that plant's done. Um, and that's not a full set. It's maybe 2 full sets, and you get that crown set towards the end. And once that crown set is harvested, it's kind of done. The plant's not really doing too well. Um, it doesn't like to be manhandled the way we do for too many pickings.
Okay.
But as far as how we support them, I mean, it's good enough for the time frame we need. Certainly, in a home garden scenario, you would put a lot more effort into supporting those plants and stringing them and making sure that they're pruned and everything. We don't have time to do all that in a commercial setting. So the most they're going to get is we'll go in, and when they get about 10 inches tall, we drive those stakes in the ground all the way down the beds. And we run string down them and just wrap the string around each stick and go down the bed.
That's kind of what I'm doing. You've seen my monster chili plant. That's kind of what
Yeah.
I'm doing there, right? Just wrapping around, keeping the branches up so they don't collapse on themselves. I'm guessing that's a similar concept to what you're doing.
It is. And for the most part, it works. Now, when you get a hurricane coming through, it kind of throws it for a loop. But yeah, for the most part, it works. You know, high winds can prove a little bit of a challenge. But for the most part, it works decently well.
Okay. And I'm sure the question, and I'll get to it. If anybody has any questions for for Doran, then you put them in. You know how to do it. Question exclamation mark Q and then the question, and we'll see if you can answer those. But I'm sure one of the questions people will have is, what sort of nutrients, what sort of feeding regime do you have? You mentioned 20-20-20 just on the bare ground to replenish, but during the season, what are you doing?
So I'm not sure, was the video where I had all the tractors going down up until the bed was made in that montage? Yep. Okay. So what you saw there was we start with cultivating and essentially turning the soil.
Turning the soil, yeah.
Disking it, turning the soil, and then we bed it into what we call a starter bed. And that big tractor creates 3 beds. And at the same time, those hoppers on the back are putting 20-20-20 into that soil. From there, it goes into what we call the super bedder and creates that really defined shape of the bed. Then you lay the plastic over it. So,
and the plastic is just for weeds, right?
The plastic is for weeds and moisture retention. So underneath, what you're not seeing on that plastic layer, it's laying the plastic down, and then you'll see 2 spools spinning on the top of it.
Okay.
Those spools have drip tape in them, and it buries that drip tape along the bed at about 4 inches deep. So we do have, it's the irrigation solution integrated into the bed. So we're able to actually pump fertilizers and water and everything those plants will need through the season straight to their root systems.
So are you able to share what you're feeding during the season? Was it still the same 20-20-20?
It's not a 20-20-20. We do a proprietary blend that we actually make ourselves. We ship in hundreds of tons of basement minerals and nutrients.
Are you finding that's more of a challenge now with what's going on in Europe?
It is. It's gone up about 400% in cost.
Yeah, I'm finding the same. Nitrogen, well, our main source of nitrogen was Russia and Ukraine, actually. And yeah, I'm having a serious problem when I try to replenish my nitrogen supplies for next year. That was a fun experience.
Mag nitrate has gone up from like $300 a ton to close to $1,400, which for a lot of farms, especially farms that aren't our size, can be quite crippling financial situations, especially when you've already had last years that are fairly rough for these farmers. The conditions haven't been great, and the economy hasn't been great. So it does put diesel that is 4 times more expensive, and fertilizer on top of it being 4 to 5 times. The big thing that I think would separate what a commercial farm and what you at home may have available to you is your access to micronutrients. A lot of like Miracle-Gro or what you would get off the shelf does not include levels that you would need for most pepper plants, at least from what I've found. You need a lot more calcium. So we spray a lot of foliar calcium twice a week, in most cases up to 1.5 quarts an acre.
So you are feeding calcium and
And
magnesium, I'm
that's
guessing.
oh yeah, we're feeding magnesium, calcium, sulfur, everything. But the other thing is a lot of times manganese is not even included in a lot of these fertilizers. And manganese can be pretty important. And the other thing that's not included is boron. We add a lot of boron in our foliar sprays as
I found a
well,
big difference
and that
adding
just
boron
helps.
to my grow. So I've been formulating my own. My nutrients wouldn't look anything like yours because, again, the requirements I think for the bell peppers are going to be a little different from some of the others. It'll be
Right,
similar, but a little different.
right, and granted, what I'm speaking of, it is very much tailored to bell peppers. That's what we grow. That's our main cash crop. Um, so we've got it down to a science as far as how to grow bell peppers. Those numbers and what you would need for hot chilies and hot peppers in general, it could vary a little bit, but generally it won't vary all that much. Um, but still, it's something kind of to take note of. But like I said, foliar, calcium, and boron are two major difference makers as far as being able to grow, especially thick wall chilies.
Yeah.
Um, you know, other things are important, but those are two major factors that I can point out right off the top of my head that make a big
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, and it's something that people don't really think about. I don't know why I'm coughing. Sorry, one sec. Something in my throat.
Hot
Yeah, it's
chili.
my body preparing. Um, the I think a lot of people think NPK. That's all it's about, right? Nitrogen, phosphorus,
Yeah,
potassium,
yeah.
and yes, that's necessary, but without the micronutrients, none of that could actually be put to proper use. So yeah, it is important. Thankfully, most of the good hydroponics, if you get a quality hydroponics, it's going to have those micronutrients
Right.
in.
And the hydroponic nutrients are very interesting because they do something that a lot of normal fertilizers do not. And so we fertilize our soil close to 4 to 5 months before we plant. And the reason you do that is because when you put a fertilizer in your soil, you're not putting bioavailable nutrients into the soil. What happens is those bacteria in the ground have to take in that nutrient and process it into something that is bioavailable. And you have to give that time. So what a lot of the hydroponics, which is very interesting, they put the nutrients into the hydroponic nutrient. Well, I'll give
And a
it
lot
to
of
them,
the
and
time,
that's
that's
a lot.
why it is more expensive as well.
Yeah,
I think I mentioned this a little bit on Discord, so you might have seen this, but some of the others might not have. But I'm working with a company right now to formulate a hydroponic solution, right? That's perfectly dedicated to chilies, based on my experience and based on what the research they've been doing. And it's opened my eyes. I mean, what I thought I knew about this stuff was like just scratching the surface. So it's quite a fascinating topic. I did have some questions coming
yeah.
in
The
for
research
you.
was very.
Sorry, you were saying?
Okay. No, I was just saying that it's quite the rabbit hole to jump down when you
It's
really
great
start
if you
looking
like that
into
sort
it.
of thing. If you like doing research and
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
which I love. So here we go. We've got a couple of questions. And this is one probably I should have asked you, but are your customers primarily? This is from non-punter. Are your customers primarily produce distributors for grocery stores, source companies, other? I'm guessing not source companies because this will be mostly supermarkets, right?
it's a lot of supermarkets and a lot of middlemen. So to other supermarkets, it depends. So we actually have contracts with companies like Chipotle, Aldi, Lidl, Kroger,
You have Aldi
Walmart.
and Lidl over there.
Yes, yes.
Oh wow.
They're not as big here. They're just kind of moving in, but we're starting to see more and more of them. Um, there's a couple Aldis like 45 minutes away from here.
So are you going direct
So
to them, or are you going through a?
we, in general, if we have contracts with that company, we're selling direct to their distribution warehouses. Um, in other cases, let's say, we're on the East Coast, but I know for a fact that a lot of our produce will be sent out as far as Nevada or California, in which cases that produce will be handed off to a middleman and then sold again to those companies that are in those locations. Uh, but even down to more local branches, Food Line, which you probably don't have in the UK, but
No,
uh, Publix is on our
I know
list.
Publix. Yeah.
So um, it's a little bit of everything, and then a lot of our off grades, which it is. If anybody knows anything, if you know anything about the way markets work, number twos are the majority of what you get versus number ones. So you've got like the perfect pepper or the perfect cucumber. Those will be sold to the markets. But
Well, Little and Aldi, they take the seconds, right? I mean, they don't care about the look of it, really. Oh, I think we might have lost Doran temporarily. While we wait for Doran to come back. Actually, it's not me. Are we back, Doran? Let's have a look here. Okay, while we wait for Doran to come back, I'll try and get him back on the line.
a
Oh,
lot of.
there we were back.
Oh,
Sorry,
you there?
you disappeared for about 20 seconds. I said so you're saying about the perfect peppers, they go to the bigger stores, but I'm guessing like the seconds, the things that are a bit off looking, they will go to Little, LD, that sort of thing, right? That's how it is here at
Right.
least in the UK.
They may go to Aldi, they may go to Lidl, as those are kind of the lower grade produce stores. But a lot of times they go to Restaurant Supply,
Because it doesn't matter what they look
and
like, they're going to
they
be chopped
go
up, right?
to right. It doesn't matter. They're going to get chopped up. They're going to get frozen. They're going to get put into a can. They're going to get turned into salsa. That's the majority of produce, commercial produce, throughout the world, and it's just the reality. You think, how much fresh produce do you buy versus going and grabbing a bag out of the freezer section?
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes from the number twos.
Which makes sense. I think there's been a big problem in that sort of space. I mean, thankfully it's changed in recent years, but in that sort of space, so much produce just gets binned because it's not perfect looking. And yeah, that's such a
You
waste.
would be amazed. We have three large deuce and a half military trucks that stand on the outside of our packing shed. I think I sent you a picture if you wanted to show the picture of that packing shed. Um,
I can't bring it
that's
up,
our farm
unfortunately.
facility and the. Oh, gotcha. Well, we have three large deuce and a half trucks, which are giant dump trucks essentially, and they sit on the outside of the packing facility, and all day long, the grades that we cannot sell get dumped into that truck,
You need to get hold of the sauce
and they
manufacturers.
never get packed. They never
The
see the
guys
light.
watching the live stream right now, the guys that are making hot sauce would love those as fillers.
Yeah,
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 it's a shame.
yeah. No, it's incredible the amount. It's a shame, and it's an incredibly large amount of produce that just literally we dump in the edge of the woods because we can't sell it, and it would cost us too much money to try to sell it. It would cost us money,
Crazy.
and that's the problem. Even down to donating it. We can only donate but so much. When you have 700 acres, you're filling up those three trucks every day,
Exactly.
and we donate a good bit, and even then, It's just
The
unfathomable
world
the
needs to
amount
change their
that
approach
goes
to
to
these
waste.
things, and I'm sure it will happen in time. Before we
Yeah,
continue, I just want to
if
open up.
supermarkets would get
I just want to open up
comfortable,
two things quickly because I'm just looking at the time. Number one is there's a giveaway today, guys. Just want to let people know there's a giveaway. So while we are going to be doing the next little bit where we're going to be eating a chili and hopefully Doran is not going to be eating a bell pepper, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Very kindly, we have a donation from somebody, which is weird. Robert Connor, I sent him a couple bottles of my weapons grade hot sauce a little while back, and I actually signed one of the bottles, and he's offering up that bottle to give away today. He'll get that shipped out. So I'm going to be opening up a giveaway to have that. It's the weapons grade hot sauce. It's the hot one. I'm sure you guys have seen the video of me making it. And it's been signed by myself. So I'm going to open up that giveaway. That is going to go for let's do 15 minutes. And while that giveaway is going, I'm going to close off the poll that we have and we see which box I have to eat from. Please don't be the Primatari. We're going to open up that giveaway and we're going to carry on answering questions here while we're eating a chili pepper. So end poll. What have we got here? Which one is it? Box number 3. I thought it was going to be box number 2 again because I think it was box number 2 the last time. So what do we got? Is that box number 3? What does it feel like? Does it feel?
Feels like a pepper.
Oh God. Oh no. Hey, you're not meant to laugh.
Oh, this is going to be fun later.
I laugh goes along with just about everybody else in the chat there.
I was really hoping it was going to be one of the others. Let me close that out. Let me get the screen back up. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So I'm gonna attempt to ask you questions here. Maybe I should ask you a couple questions and you can just answer because hopefully you're going to be in a better position than I am to talk. What are you eating today? You got a habanero, haven't you?
Yeah. So I've got a Thai chili, small little bird's eye chili, and a habanero.
And they're all homegrown?
They're all homegrown.
So you're going to eat all 3 because I'm eating the Primatali.
Well, I can. I'll start with the baby one. I'll do this one
you,
first.
you eat that while I prepare myself mentally for this. I have no idea. I haven't even tried one of these. Normally, I have some idea of what I'm going to be eating in terms of the. Let me switch on that light. I have some idea of the sort of pain that I'm in for. I have no idea on this one. I just know from the reviews I've seen that this is going to hurt. Let me. So hopefully people are feeling bad for me here and not just not just gleeful at the pain that's about to come. How's the bird's eye, by the way?
It's decent. It's I don't know what Scoville they're supposed to be at, but it's not too bad. I'd say kind of on par with
Yeah,
Thai
around by
chilies
there,
or
about
something.
50,000 Scoville, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Tony. Sorry, I just saw Tony in the chat here.
No,
Simplify
it's not
Gardening. Good to see you on here, Tony. But also, just do it. I'm going to bring Tony around here one day. I know he doesn't eat hot chilies, and I'm going to make him eat something hot, and then we'll see if he's so overzealous about making me do these things. So yeah, you're okay with that one. What's the next one you got? That's just a green chili, right?
Yeah, we got the Thai chili, which is a good bit scarier than that bird's eye, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Doran to get to his habanero, and then I'll eat this. I'm not.
No,
Well, I am
no,
stalling, but. So Daniel Katzman, I wouldn't. I have to eat this anyway. I mean, to explain to you guys, I did have this conversation. I had an email from somebody saying that you don't have to hurt yourself with these things. I know that, but I'm going to be reviewing this anyway. I might as well get it over with now. If I'm going to be doing my checking out chilies episode on this, I would have to eat it anyway. If I do it now, I can use this little clip to hopefully, supplement what I'm going to be doing with that one, so I don't have to do it a second time. But yeah, I'm not going to eat the whole thing. I'm just going to take a bite of half, just so you guys don't see there's a little bend there. I'll be doing half, and I think that'll be more than enough, because again, I don't want my stomach to be in agony. Anyway, you ready, Doran? Cheers.
Cheers.
Fruity. Very fruity. It's building. How's your one?
Oh, well, it's a 7-pot, I believe, is what the listing said when I grew it. It's brutal, and it's getting worse.
Yeah, this is hard. I might need to have the rest of it. I'll see how I feel in a second. I've got pins and needles on my tongue. It's building. It's building a lot.
Yeah, it keeps it's increasing exponentially.
Yeah, that's
I can't imagine.
definitely a builder. Hitting the back of my throat. Oh. It's making my ears hurt. Sorry, one sec, I'm going to remove the headphones. Oh. My face gone red. Wow. I think the previous hottest I think I've ever had was the 7-pot bubblegum. Oh. Oh boy. Yeah, I can't eat the rest of this. I don't need to eat the rest of it. God, the ears. I'm going to have some beer. Not that it's really going to help.
I'll tell you, the milk didn't help either.
Ooh. I have questions, I think. What's the hottest you've ever had, Doran?
I had a Armageddon about a month ago.
That's hot.
Yeah, that was way less fun than what I'm going through right now, and probably about on par with what you're doing. But the Armageddon is incredibly hot. I don't know if you've grown them, but
Sorry,
they're painful.
you carry on talking. Oh. That's agony. The back of the throat, right by where the ears kind of connect with the jaw. Whew. That's hitting hard. Whew. Might need a banana for this one. This is more for the stomach than anything. I do have questions.
This is more for me than the stomach.
Yeah, the banana doesn't help. Take that one off the list. Okay, another question for you. Grolsch, he asks about gibberellic acid. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I have no idea.
So, and I know why he's asking that is because I've discussed it with him and I believe one other person. And it is a growth factor hormone. Generally, you want to spray Progib is what we call it, but gibberellic acid
Well, what
in
what is it?
between.
Firstly,
Yeah, so it's a growth hormone.
sorry. Let me address before you carry on there. The only reason we have a banana in the house. Sorry. The only reason we have bananas in the house is because we have family visiting. Otherwise, bananas are banned because Mrs. ChilliChump does not eat bananas. Wow, that is hot. There's going to be this. There's going to be some of these in some sauce soon. Anyway, carry on. Gibberellic acid.
So it's like I said, it's a growth hormone that promotes vegetal growth over flowers or fruit.
So it's good in the beginning part of the
So
season.
it's good at the beginning. Before you start setting flowers, you want to spray it up to once a week, but it's very low quantities. And like I said, it just really causes your plant to push as much vegetal growth as it can. Things to look out for if you do decide to go out and buy some, though. It will cause your plant to stiffen up and actually get quite brittle. So you want to provide a lot of support, especially in windy conditions if you're growing outdoors. But and just be careful around the plant.
But also with it
works
hardening up,
amazing.
I'm guessing it goes woody, right?
Yeah, the stems get a little woodier.
Doesn't that stop
And
new
like I
growth
said,
from coming through?
It doesn't. So it doesn't cause the stems to actually get woodier. It causes all the nutrients to start pushing to the leaves. So really, what you want to aim for is you want to have a very what's the word? An established root system for the plant.
You know, you're gonna have to tell me this all
And
again
then you
later.
want,
By the way, I mean I'm sure everyone's enjoying
yeah,
this.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Carry on.
You want to establish root system for the plant, and then you can proceed to start spraying this. And what it will do, it causes all the nutrients from the ground and the root system to go ahead and push up into the upper parts of the plant. So that being said, it will knock your flowers off. If you have a bloom set, you do not want to spray it.
How long does it last for? So if
However,
you're planning to use it at different times of the season.
if you're if you're using it recommended rates, you spray it about once a week until you get the plant to the point you want it at.
So after a week,
Really,
it's
you can
gone.
probably get away with it. Yeah, after a week, it's gone. And it's 100% natural. The plant produces it itself.
So this is concentrated form of what the plant naturally does.
A concentrated form, exactly. And your goal with it is the plant will produce it when it goes through a growth spurt. What you're aiming to do is keep it in that growth spurt so that it puts on as many leaves as possible. The more leaves you have, especially in our case, the more protection you have from sun. So we want a very heavy set of leaves to kind of blot out the sun and stop those peppers from burning. And the other option, the other obvious benefit is the more leaves you have, the better nutrient system you have, and the better the plant can actually put on quality fruit. It's got the support system needed to do those fruits.
So I mean, it's similar to like I shift nutrients through the season. Guys, this is still burning. Still, it's not really subsiding much. It still feels like someone's poking pins in the back of my throat. So I shift nutrients through the season. Obviously, in the first half of the season, higher on the nitrogen. I drop that drastically because I don't want the nitrogen. If there's nitrogen, then the plants are going to want to grow, right? And they're
Right.
going to put out green growth. Whereas you want to shift that down, and I'm guessing the time that you shift that down, less nitrogen is the same time that you stop doing the acid, right? Stop doing acid. The gibberellic acid. Oh, God.
And, yes, you want to cut back on certain things in your fertilizer, but you don't want to stop putting fertilizer out.
Oh, no, you still need it.
Especially, you're aiming for volume, you've got to keep the fertilizer to it. Really, once a week is what we run through our drip, and maybe during fruit set is twice a week.
But what
Just
sort of
because they're
EC
really
are you aiming for? Or you're not going
EC.
the electric conductivity. So how much salt's in the water?
We don't even we don't even measure by that. We've got a set system that we make our fertilizer for. I wish I had that answer for you, but
Well,
I don't have.
it's just, and there's lots of arguments that go online. People going very heavy on the EC, so basically it's heavier concentration, and
Right.
that can be a bit problematic if you go too heavy. Right, if you go too heavy, you can burn the plant. The plant can actually shut down. If there's too much available for the roots aren't going to spread, especially in the beginning part of the season. So I guess there's a balance. There's always a balance to be had, right? Too much, too little is always going to be a problem.
Well, and we're taking soil samples, so we get the levels of what's in the soil throughout the season, and we kind of base when we're going to hit it with nutrients on that, and how we mix our fertilizers based on what those soil samples report back.
Okay.
And we're doing that. We've got a team of consultants that are constantly out in every one of our fields that are taking soil samples, taking leaf samples, and sending them off to labs so that we know, hey, this field on this farm needs magnesium, or this field on this farm needs manganese or boron. And we can tell that, or, especially the calcium. We know exactly where we need to spray calcium.
Yep.
And so a lot of our decisions are based on those numbers versus, like, probably what you're looking at is home growers that will really fine tune into those kinds of details. We generally don't, just because when you're looking at the farm that my house sits on, has close to 12 million plants.
Yeah.
And that's just on 60 acres. So you're looking at, millions and millions and millions of plants. And it's not worth getting super fine detailed. You might hear my baby in the background.
Yeah, no,
we had a
right.
baby about 5 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
So he's, thank you. But yeah, getting back to it, it's like I said, especially if you're in a smaller operation, and more specifically in hydroponics, is when it really gets that you can get those little details fine tuned in, and that becomes more important. But at the commercial
it's definitely
scale,
yeah. I mean, this is what people need to remember. What you're telling us today is fantastic for us to realize there's certain concepts you need to be aware of. But copying what you do is never going to do the same job because of the way that we grow.
right.
I can mollycoddle. I can really, baby my plants and give them exactly what I need, where I need it.
Exactly.
It's a microclimate basically that I'm dealing with. Whereas for you can't afford to do that, right? It's just way too much work. You can't look at this row of plants and think, well, we need to change the nutrient levels there. This 5 plants at the end. It just wouldn't be practical.
When I'm looking at where we're going to change nutrient levels, I'm looking at a scale of 20 to 30 acres at a time.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. I know you guys use hectares, right?
Well, acres, as well.
Okay. Well, and like I said, in 30 acres, that's you on one of our rows, you may have as many plants as you have between your two greenhouses.
Yeah.
So it's just not feasible when you've got.
My greenhouse is the size of your tractor, so
Right. Well, but that's the beauty of being able to do it on a small scale. If you're able to get beautiful peppers.
Yeah.
But
it's because I'm able to go in there and spend hours with them, every day or so when I need to. So yeah, definitely. Listen, I have a proposal because I think this conversation is awesome. If you're happy to do it, I'm thinking of doing a special episode. We can do it as a live stream if you have the time. I know with the baby, time might be a challenge. We can pre-record. It's up to you. But I think we can do a full-hour session on this because I have a ton of questions, and I know...
I'm more than open to it. I'd love to.
Fantastic.
And especially if the folks in the chat want to.
Well, there's tons of love for you
about
in the chat. This is a great conversation. I also realize, obviously, not everyone's a grower that's watching today, so some of this might go over their head. But there's going to be a core bunch of people here that this is going to be gold for them, right? And I'm learning a lot as well. So I'm happy to, if you've got the time, we'll definitely do that. I know that we'll at least have a few viewers, but we'll make a plan for that very soon. I'll chat with you on Discord about that. But I'm going to have to cut it off at the moment because we are on the top of the hour, and I've got to do the draw for this giveaway, and I've got to answer a couple of questions myself.
What's the I got to enter as well.
Yeah, we'll get you entered. I will... Actually, let me open it up again, just so that people that have just got here, and also you can also enter this. So just give me 1 sec, because it did close out. So yeah, we're going to allow entries just for a little bit longer. Guys, if you didn't manage to get your entry in, you have one more chance to get your entry in. It's ! Feel the burn, and that'll give you a chance to win the weapons grade hot sauce that's been signed by myself. So thank you so much, Doran. I know that people in the chat are loving you as well and loving the information. But we'll definitely, I'd love to do another video. We'll just have a chat. Again, probably just do it as a live stream. I think this format works well. So thank you so much. And next time you have to do next time you're doing a Primatali with me.
I look forward to it. Let's do it.
It's given me a buzz. I mean, I don't know about yourself, but I mean, the reason I eat hot chilies is it gives that endorphin rush. I'm smiling, not just because I had a great conversation with you, but, this stuff, it does. It makes you feel like you're dying, and your body says, hey, we've got to release those happy drugs. Let's do that. So there are some benefits.
Always a good time with a hot chili.
Excellent. We'll speak to you again soon, my friend.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Love you later.
And I am back. That was awesome, Doran. Great information. If you are growing chilies, obviously a lot of that is going to be gold. I can take these off now. It's just great information from somebody that does this commercially. And a lot of this is going to be very relevant for you, even if you are growing super hots and not bell peppers. Bell peppers are going to be on the extreme end for things like aphid infestations. And that's actually a question we didn't get into there, but definitely one for the next live stream. I will let you guys know when we do that. But aphids and pests and things like that, the control for that, I think that's definitely a question that Doran is going to have some good answers for, because that's the worst part about growing chilies, is managing that side of things. So yeah, well, we get them in. I'm sure you guys will be happy to have him on again. So we will do that very soon. So let's go and do some questions here before we cut off, and we'll do the draw. And if you do win the draw, you need to be in the chat, please. I know we're going long here at the moment, but we won't do too much longer. I will finish at 10 past the hour. So 7 more minutes. Let's answer some questions quickly, and then we'll do the draw. Okay, so let's go. This is a good one because we're at that time of the season. This is from Chronomus89. Are there any tips to make chilies ripen faster? This is a question I get every year at this time of the year. People are desperate to get their chilies to ripen because they're green and it can take a bit of time. The good news is when it gets colder like this, when the temperature starts dropping, your chili plants will actually start ripening a little quicker. The reason you might not think it's ripening very quickly is because you're desperate for it to happen. So it's like, a watch pot never boils. Same thing with chilies. When you're desperate for those chilies to ripen, it seems like they're taking longer. But with colder temperatures, your plant is going to react quicker. It wants to ripen because it wants to create viable seed that it wants to move on for the next season. I've still got a little bit of pain. It has subsided now, thankfully. My tongue's a little bit numb. But anyway, so chilies, they want to ripen. They want to get to a point that the seeds are viable. So they want to do that before there's any hard frosts, which would kill the plant. So you'll see that your plant should start ripening a lot quicker. You can't really rush it. You can't make it happen any quicker. One thing you can do to help your plants well, more likely set fruit and flower properly is reduce the amount of nitrogen you're giving them at the back end of the season. I did put out a video, top 3 tips for the summer, and that's one of the top tips that I have is reduce the nitrogen content, because you want the plant to think, hey, well, it's time now. We've got the right nutrients for us to be pushing out flowers and fruit. Can you please do a video about overwintering a chili plant? This is from Kenneth Anderson. I have done a couple videos on overwintering. I did a bite-size episode, so that's like a 60-second episode talking about overwintering. I have done a video about 2 years ago in my old property where I actually showed you how I would overwinter if I was going to do it. I don't normally overwinter very much now. There's a couple plants I may overwinter this year. I'm still deciding. We have some time yet. But listen, I'm happy to do another video. I just try not to repeat myself too much when it comes to the videos that I put out there. So I will do my best. If you really want to see one, we'll see what I can do. Tea bags. When did you first start YouTube? Well, it shows you on my website. I think it's 2016 I started. I put out a video about my drip irrigation system, gravity-fed drip irrigation, just to show people how to do it. And yeah, it pretty much started from there. It was a very slow start. I think the first 3 years I didn't even get 100 subscribers, but that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it to share information and just make a better video. Every video I put out, I want to improve at least one thing in every one of them. And that way you get to the point where I've done 400 videos now. A video that you see today is very different from a video you would have seen 3 years ago. The quality of everything, video, audio, all that sort of stuff, and the content of it, pacing of it, and all that sort of stuff. It's a learning experience. I'm not a video editor, but that's what I've had to be able to do this. It's been an interesting ride. And if people are interested in that sort of thing, then again, happy to do a video where I answer those sort of questions, because I know a lot of you are trying to do YouTube as well, or you are even a big YouTuber and you have some questions. Tony from Simplified Gardening, great guy, and him and I have chats. I actually spoke to him this morning. We talk about YouTube quite a lot. Listen, none of us know it all unless you're Mr. Beast. Then apparently he knows all the secrets. So go and ask him. He'll help you out. But yeah, it's great fun. YouTube, being able to interact with you guys, that makes it even better as well. Mark Poole, how many seeds are in the seed packs you sell? At least 10. Every seed pack, at least 10. Some of the rarer types, the ones where I don't get as many seeds, it'll be 10 on the dot. But most of them are about 12 to 14 seeds, but at least 10 in every pack. And if you guys don't know, I do sell seeds. So ChilliChumpSeeds.com. And you can go and check out what I have there. There are some more ones coming into the store very soon. I know there was another question here about when 7-Pot Primos and 7-Pot Bubblegums are in there. 7-Pot Primo, it's in the store right now. I was able to harvest some seeds and I've tested for germination and they're germinating very well. So those are in the store right now. And I've also allowed for free shipping if you go over a certain threshold. I think it's $10 for the UK and $20 for the US or international. 7-Pot Bubblegum, that'll be very soon. They take a long time to ripen, and I just want to make sure I have very viable seeds from the awesome 7-Pot Bubblegum plant that I have, so that's very cool. Wow. That chili was hot, man. That is seriously a killer chili. I'm very interested to see what sort of sauce I can make with that. For the hotheads, the guys that email me constantly saying, hey, what's the hottest sauce you have? I want the hottest thing. Nothing's hot enough for me. Guess what? This one's going to hurt. Wow. It's giving me a bit of a headache as well. I think it's too much endorphins pumping through my body right now. Wow. Daniel Katzman, will you be doing your own seed kit for 2023? No. So that was the intention. But I will be collaborating again with Primatari Seeds to create a seed kit. I'm still talking with them at the moment. So expect some news about that in mid-November, early December. And we're going to be making a plan there. So yeah, just keep an eye out on my posts, my Instagram and all that sort of thing. And you guys will find out what we are going to be doing. Oh, wow. So for the guys that have sent me videos of them eating hot chilies, thank you so much. They're not going to waste. They will be used. Today was obviously, we did a very interesting chat there with Doran. But I've got those videos. If you have got a video of you trying one of my hot sauces maybe, or trying one of your chilies that you've grown that are super hot, and you filmed it, you want to send it in, go for it, and it might appear here on one of my live streams. So you can get hold of me on my website, so chillichump.com/contact, and you can send over a link to your video, and yeah, you might see it here on the live stream. Okay. I haven't had 8 Estrellas, Richard. 2 Estrellas and a Guinness so far. I haven't actually opened up this one. I think I need this other one. Oh. Yeah, I'm not even feeling a buzz from the drinking just yet. Yeah, I wouldn't normally have that many beers in such a short time. I probably should have had a glass of water on the table. That would have been more helpful, but you drink what's in front of you, I guess. Let's do one more answer, and then I will be doing the draw, because we're at 6:10. 6:10 my time, 12 EST. What's for dinner after? There we go. Daniel Katzman. What's for dinner? What is for dinner? Lamb. We're doing lamb chops. I'm doing it on the braai. Doing it outside on the braai. Actually, I was about to say it's a cold day in October, but it's a beautiful day outside. We've had sunshine the last 2 days. Friday we had some serious rain and the back end of Storm Ian. I think it's called Storm Ian. We had the back end of that whipped us real bad with wind and things, nothing like what's happened in the US. But we had a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and then suddenly Saturday it was glorious sunshine. I was outside in my t-shirt and shorts doing the garden work. So yeah, it was really cool. That's what's for dinner. Jack Dowd. It sounds like something an alcoholic would say. Okay, let's do this. We're going to close out the giveaway, and let's see who's won. Good luck, everybody. And yeah, here we go. We're picking a winner. Tony, I want a video of you using this hot sauce. Tony. I promise you I did not rig this at all. Tony, you've won, so mate, you have to try a little bit of this. And we'll have to. So Tony's got a new live streaming setup in his studio, and it looks really cool. I think it's prime time for us to do another collaboration live stream, and we're gonna have to get you trying out some of the weapons grade hot sauce. Oh, that is just perfect. That serves you right for your comment earlier before I ate the Primatali. So there you go, guys. This has been awesome. He is. Yeah, I did see his comment there. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Thank you guys so much, Robert, Connor. Thank you so much for donating that bottle, and I'll give you some details to get that sent out. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining today. It's been fun. Well, most of it's been fun. The Primatari that wasn't as much fun as I would have liked, but it was an experience. It was still an experience to try it out. Hopefully I don't have to try it again. Hopefully the quality of this video I'll be able to download and use it in my Checking Out Chilies episode, and we'll talk about the history of the Primatali, and you'll see me trying it on a live stream. It's hot. No two ways about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you on the next live stream. That'll be next month. I think it's the 6th of November. It'll be the day after we do the picking of the massive Dorset Naga that I have in my greenhouse. So there might be some clips of that. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, 6th of November. Look forward to seeing you there. And until then, stay spicy.